I just got done with my rare tier list. Really easy to look at, really easy to see what heroes you want to pick. And it's good that I got it done today because on day 3 in the battle pass, the free version of the battle pass, we get to choose one rare, any rare in the whole entire game. This is really good. I can't believe they added it to the free version. At level 10 of this battle pass, you'll get this box. And I have it right now. It looks just like this. But I don't know if I'm going to use it yet. I think I'm going to hold on to it because all the SS class rares, I was lucky enough to pull them. So I'm going to save it for like a specialty rare because I'm on the test server right now, testing out all these heroes, and I'll do videos on everything and let you know what I find out. But I'm going to save this for now because you can select any of them. This is awesome. I'm so glad they did this. Okay, let's get into the tier list. What rare is going to be the best rare for your account? You can see over here on the left-hand side that the SS ranked aren't that many. Then we have the S rank here, the A rank over on the side, which really aren't that good at all. They might be good in a specialty team, like a rally team, but if they were good in a rally team, I put them over here in the S rank and I specified they're here as a S rank because some specialty team like that. Now, I haven't been able to test summons. Nobody has been able to. We don't know if they were buffed. We don't know if they're good. So I'm on the test server again. I will try out these summons. I do have one summon in the SS rank because she's so good. She's a new hero. And if you're using a summon team, she is going to be SS rank for rares. For poisons, we don't know how good poisons are. When we tested poisons out before on the test server, they weren't that great. So I'm hoping they're better now. And we can test these to see if they're going to be worthwhile to use for a poison team. Most of these rares for poison teams weren't that great. I think some of them were okay, but we'll do testing. We'll do testing on the Vortex boss that we can actually play right now on day 3. Do that every single day so you'll get rewards. It also gives rewards to your clan so you can move up this meter and get rewards from that as well. There's some really cool rares in the S rank, but I don't think any of them are anywhere near as good as Hexandra, which we get for free, so you don't have to worry about using that to get her. We have Irina, amazing. I've got her at level 70. She's one of my crew that I've been using the whole entire time. She gives a shield whenever she does ability to any of your teammates that are near her, and then she does amazing AoE damage. As good as single target damage. It's so good, and she does attack decrease 2. That means 50% less attack on the enemy. And it's an AoE move too, so she can hit multiple enemies with it. This lady is something else. She's really good, giving shields, doing all that damage, and doing decreased attack. Then we have Inna. She's a healer. She can put a heal over time on your whole entire team and remove one debuff. And it doesn't matter where she's at. She can do this over the whole entire map. The reason why she's so important is because for the flame domain, she can remove that flame debuff that we get. Those stacks of flame debuff, she can take them all off. She does really well in Feywild. If you're new to the game and you haven't played yet, Feywild is a tower mode where we keep going up. At floor 10, floor 20, floor 30, all the 10s, all the way up, you fight this boss that puts a whole bunch of poison on you and then blows you up. So you either have to have high resistance, just like you need for the flame domain if you're going to go in there and not remove those debuffs. You need somebody that can either block debuffs, or you need Inna. And she's great because she does healing on top of removing those debuffs. She cannot be usually your only healer in your team unless you have a very strong team with a tank that maybe does some heals as well, or somebody else in there healing with her, really. I was never able to use her as free to play as a solo healer because those heals over time, they do decent amount of heal over time, but they don't do this big bulk heal that Hexandra does on her move. So if you're using both of those, they're really good. Healing is always good in this game to sustain and make it through to beat the bosses. The longer you can stay alive, you have a lot of time usually to beat these bosses. So if you just stay alive, you can just tank it out and beat them. Used as a Frost champion with 2 swords, she can do really good single target damage. You can get her if you want to. If you have a Frost team, she can apply Frost herself as well. But if you have a Frost team, somebody, or at least somebody else on your team applying Frost, so you know that it's going to be up pretty much 100% of the time, you could get her. She's going to do really well on the Vortex boss. It's a lot of damage, but damage isn't everything in this game. We have a lot of heroes that can do damage, so I don't know if you want to go for her immediately. And this one is SS rank for summons. If you're going to rely on summons, which I wouldn't do that yet. I don't know how good summons are going to be. This girl is really good. She's got a speed lead, plus she does so many other things to enhance your summons. It looks really powerful. But again, I haven't been able to try out anything with the summons yet. If I didn't have Irina or Inna, I would go for one of those two. I would go and grab them right away. If you want to look at my notes for the other rares that I have here, there's some really cool new rares that I haven't really had a chance to try out. And some of them look really good. I put these healers in green, so if you're looking for a healer, you can kind of find them pretty easy. Great tank right here. I do a little more description of what they can do. Attack down 1, single target damage, some real serious single target damage, along with attack speed lead. These two look really cool. They look like they're going to do some serious damage, and they're both new. So I'll be testing those out, but currently this is what I have for a rare tier list, and I will update this. Here's my account. You can see that I've got Irina right here at level 70. She's got the best artifact I can put on her right now, and then these two to give her 15% additional damage. And this is the shield I was talking about. Whenever she does her skills, both of the skills, even though it says skill, it means the ultimate as well. She'll put this HP shield on somebody that's near her. Here she does a bouncing ability. It can go up to 3 times, which means a lot of damage. Good for AoE, good for the Goblin Cave, good for single target damage. Even if the boss has somebody next to them, it's going to bounce between it. That's really good. And then here, this is really, really good damage for a rare for AoE plus attack penalty 2. It's insane. Super good. And I've got her up here as Inna up here as my favorite because I do reset my heroes down to level 1 and pull her out when I need to play her. And once I have enough experience to spread around everywhere, I'll get her leveled up. Because here we remove that debuff and we do the heal over time, and you can see it covers the whole entire map. I also use her in another dungeon later on that there's this crazy boss that looks like one of those trees with all those wild hands, and he puts tons of debuffs on us, and he puts a heal block debuff. And I want to get that heal block debuff off, so I bring her in on that one as well. She's really good. If you don't have her and you have a lot of DPS heroes already, go for Inna. If you do have Inna and you want a DPS hero for the Goblin Cave, for all the bosses to do decrease attack right here, and dispel a buff, which actually is really strong in the second dungeon we get to. We can already see that dungeon, but we can't actually go in there yet. There's a dungeon where we need to put decrease attack on the boss. We need to take off all of his buffs so he doesn't do crazy damage to us and get this big HP shield on himself. She's just so good. So good for this, so good for this dwarf boss we fight later on because he gets buffs and we need to do the same thing on him. Really, she's quite amazing. And then the other ones I talked about for the frost damage is this lady right here. Here she does double damage. Every second basic attack, double damage. Here she's going to increase her attack speed by 50% and get a shield on herself. So she's going to be doing this double damage quite often with that attack speed of 50%. 2 hits, each dealing 400, so 800 total. And then we can do double damage to the enemy inflicted with frost. That is probably one of the highest hitting moves in the game that I know of. And then there's a summon one if you're doing a summon team. I actually want to play a summons team. They look really fun. There's a whole bunch of epics that do it that I actually have. There's a whole bunch of rares that do some summons, so I'm sure they've got to be viable. I'm sure they've got to be able to survive, do damage. The caster is actually doing damage too, along with the summons, so they usually do some really good damage. But we will test that out, and I'll get videos out as soon as possible. A lot of these here in the middle are really good. They do some crazy things that could help us out in different areas of the game, like this AoE freeze at a 75% chance booked out going through Feywild. Again, Feywild's at tower stage, so you fight a whole bunch of groups of enemies. It's not like bosses that we fight in the dungeons where we can't control the bosses. The bigger characters that we fight in here, along with the smaller ones, you can stun them, you can freeze them, you can do all that. So these are pretty good for those areas. And then you've got some really crazy, new, interesting ones like this that does decrease attack, decrease accuracy, and decreases their ultimate. Any heroes that we have that can decrease the ultimate and actually do it on a quick, maybe 8 seconds, 10 seconds, could be really strong. We put a slow speed up on them and we decrease that ultimate. Actually, one of these heroes has that. They have a slow speed here and decreases the ultimate every 8 seconds. Or this one decreases the ultimate by 20% every 8 seconds. And I need to do testing on this. This could be S tier. We could get in there and really start to decrease the ultimate of the bosses, say by 30% or 40% with maybe 2 heroes. Put a slow speed up with our main character. If we take him to Frost, he gets a slow speed on his special ability. and then really slow up the boss from hitting us with all their abilities. Could be really good. We'll just have to test it out. But this is the tier list I have for all the rares. Let me know your thoughts down below. Tell me what you think is the best rare. Tell me if you think that you've played a rare and they deserve to be at a higher or lower tier. We'll make some changes and we'll test this all out. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I appreciate your time. Get to that level 10 so you can get this selector box and get a rare. Get whatever rare you want. This is fun. Subscribe if you haven't, guys, and I will see you in a video soon.